Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your bonus reading for the weekend, 17th, 18th, 19th. I want to say thank you again for all your support. I know it sort of sounds sometimes like all I do is say thank you, but I always think that people don't realise how incredibly grateful I am for this journey, and I want to let you know that I truly am really gracious about this whole experience. So thank you so much, especially for you people who tune in every day, for you people who send me the beautiful messages of love and support. I think often when you write to me how beautiful it is that you've taken time out of your day to let me know, that you are enjoying the readings or how it's working with you. I want to say thank you for those who've ordered personal readings from me, and I want to also say thank you for those who are watching my psychic TV as well. So everything you do, and you guys who come over to my Facebook page. So I will reward you all again soon by doing a Facebook Live, and we'll do some card pulls. I just need to get a little bit more organised. So I go house hunting now I'm here, so it's on its way. I am only here temporarily, and it's beautiful of my daughter and her family to welcome me into their home. So we have the Page of Wands coming out here. Now the Page of Wands can represent the fire signs, Leo, Sag or Aries. So it could be that you've got a child who's about to be recognised in some way, shape or form. Sometimes this can be like a certificate or some sort of award coming forward for a child. For many of us, this is some sort of message or some sort of communication coming through from someone who's very passionate about what they want to say. This is not a card of action, it is a card of message, or it is something that comes in a sort of like a form, like I said, like a certificate, a letter, an email. Someone has an offer here. This is the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Someone wants to offer you something. Look, it's not huge. It may be a date, but when I look at this, I feel that this person has a lot of passion behind this desire to ask you out, offer you something, or move towards you in some way, shape or form. Look at this. This is all communication, but this is action here as well, because we do have the Knight behind that. So it's almost like someone's offering you something, but then they're coming forward to prove their worth. They may have been thinking about this for a long time. You've got someone who's contemplated and had to put down a lot of responsibility to move towards you, but now they want something with you that's equal give and take. We could have a repeat or a continuation of what's cracking this morning. It could be the sort of reading you're going to get here, but I'll leave that for Spirit to work out for me. Somebody said to me the other day when I was doing a reading, are you reading the cards at the moment? And I said, no, I'm bringing the messages down from Spirit first. When we look at a card has a basic meaning. 8 of Cups, for example. It sort of shows someone who's very dissatisfied with their emotional state at the moment, because the cups represent emotion. And this person is not happy with this emotional state, and they're moving on from that. So that is the traditional meaning of the card. But what comes from that is then all of the downloads that Spirit gives you to go with that. So sometimes the downloads you get aren't particularly the same as what you're seeing in the card, because you're reading them in conjunction with other cards for starters. But also the messages that come down may be for individual people rather than for the collective. So sometimes you're reading and something will come out which may only resonate with several people, but they need to hear it because Spirit is channeling through us to make sure that message comes across. So just a little insight there. Okay, so we have the card of the Emperor coming out here. Now the Emperor made an appearance in the What's Cracking reading too. The Emperor is the card of Aries, represents the fire sign Aries. But the Emperor is a person who's very knowledgeable, very experienced and well educated. Now sometimes they can be a bit pushy, they can be a bit bossy, they can represent someone who's in a position of authority, so they can be, a teacher, a manager, a boss, whatever. But this person here has earned the right to be more forthright, be more sort of be more comfortable with who they are, because they've earned that level of experience and knowledge. Sometimes, though, this person can come across as a little bit perhaps arrogant, a little bit pushy, a little bit controlling. Now, this card also represents the divine masculine, which is quite interesting, but he is at the top of his game. He is a person who has earned his way to the top here, and I think that's why we use him as the divine masculine representation. So if you're looking at twin flame relationships, soulmate relationships, you've got someone here who's making an appearance perhaps after a period of silence or a period of quiet, because this person has taken time out to do that. He knows what he wants. Oh, there's the Hermit card. So there you go. That shows. So we have Virgo and Taurus here. We also have 2 major arcanas. We have someone here who has taken time out to not only heal themselves, but to learn about themselves, to really go inside and see who is within them. So we don't have Virgo at all. We have Aries and Taurus. Oh, Aries and Virgo here. Oh my goodness, Yvonne, get it right. Aries and Virgo on the table. Yeah. Okay, so we have someone here who's gone deep inside to have a really, really good look at what they want, where they're going. Someone who's experienced some sort of pain and heartbreak here. Oh, but someone who also wants to see their dreams come true. Okay, we have someone who's gone through something quite traumatic here because they want something new. So they have gone through a lot of soul searching, a lot of digging deep, a lot of heartbreak in order to move towards their dreams. It's very deep. Okay, so we have the card of the Lovers too, which also came up in the What's Cracking, and another major arcana representing Gemini. We have the card that someone's escaped something here. Someone's moved away from something that kept them bound in order to move towards something that is much more what they want. Okay, and then we have the Death card. Oh my goodness, all major arcanas. We have 2 cards on the table that are not. Okay, I'm going to keep putting cards, and then we have the Magician. Okay, very big energies here today, people. Then we have the Page of Pentacles, so someone coming in with an offer here. Oh, okay, so I pulled 2 cards out together here, and this is the last card. What I have here is the 6 of Cups and the Tower. So for some of you here, you have got someone coming back in from your past, perhaps your childhood, perhaps some time ago, who's about to lay something on you that's going to break down everything in your world that you thought was real in order to rebuild. Well, I have to go more cards and give you a deep reading here. It's a big one. Message coming in from someone here. It's a small offer. It's a bigger offer. It's action. It's taking time to come in to make an offer after a period of seclusion and closing out some sort of energy. Someone who wants to work with you on something here. So definitely a romance reading. So if you're not into romance, or you don't want romance, or whatever, you can click off now. And I've just had the Star card jump out at me too. So something huge is about to go down for people here, and I will need to clarify a couple of these cards. I have somebody coming in. I feel like for the people who are twin flame people, you have a divine masculine energy moving towards you now. Someone who's been through some sort of heartbreak and seclusion in order to move towards you because they see you as their wish, their dream come true, their everything. This person has finally made a choice, and they've sort of cut through some boundaries, some stuff around them in order to make the way forward. But that's created for them a lot of change in their own lives. They've had a huge transformation here. But they're coming out the other side as the Magician, which means that they know that what they want they can manifest. And they're definitely moving towards something to make an offer. This is somebody from your past, somebody who is going to offer you an opportunity here to break down what you've learned before. Maybe you've been waiting for a very long time for this. Some of you could have been waiting for a very long time. And perhaps here you were thinking that it was never going to happen, but somehow in your intuition you knew it would. This is about breaking down those, for different people, I guess, different things. And without going in, I could be here for hours talking about this, I guess. But there are things we learn when we're younger that stay with us, like the things that we think are real because someone's told us they're real. And I always talk about my son because that's the biggest one for me, coming in one day and saying, "Mum, you lied to me." And I was like, "What do you mean, mate? I wouldn't have lied to you. What do you mean?" And he said, "When we were young, you told us we couldn't go in and swim for half an hour because we would get cramps and drown." And I said, "Well, that's what I was told." And he said, "It's not true. It's an old wives' tale." You've been lying to me for years. And we had a good chuckle. Of course, we laughed and laughed and laughed, and that was it. But it's those sort of things that have been told to you or said to you at some stage or another you don't believe are true. And it's all part of the ego, because that's the ego that sticks there. Because ultimately, you know, with the whole getting in the water and swimming around, so many people do it after they've eaten. I doubt very much if many people drown from having a belly that's too full of food. But it would be uncomfortable. So what I'm trying to say, I guess, is that there has been some belief you've held about somebody from your past. And maybe it was, oh, people never come back. I hear people saying it all the time. You know, people don't come back from relationships. You don't want people back from relationships because they've hurt you. You know, lots of things that you're told that you believe. And I feel here for many people, there's this feeling that deep inside you knew that this person had really been in love with you, but for whatever reason, whether they walked away because they had someone else, or they chose someone else over you, or they had something else in their life that held them back. Maybe they just didn't want a strong relationship at the time, but they perhaps fell in love with you, but then walked away knowing they had, you know, a career to follow or something else. I don't know. But something you have got in your head here that has built itself on foundations that are very shaky. They weren't real foundations. So what you started to believe was a product of your own illusions or delusions. So when somebody comes back in or something happens that is beyond our comprehension, we term it a miracle, because it can't for some reason fit in with our schema of how things are. This is a miracle for you. This is something returning from your past that you thought would never return. Some opportunity, some aspect, something here that is returning to mend something that they saw many years ago had lots of potential. It could be, you know, that you were in a marriage that broke down and you never saw that. It could have been the person did the wrong thing. Any of those things, and I'm not here to make judgments, but I do think that whatever this was for this person, there's been a lot of regret and a lot of growth since that time. And I think I've said to you, you know, I've met people who've waited, you know, 20 and 30 years for their soulmate, their twin flame to come back, and they have. So something here says to me that this person has made a decision to return because they feel that they didn't get things. There's the Ten of Wands. So someone's had to possibly divorce someone, move away from someone else in order to make this offer to you now. Now, the Tower can also mean you don't accept the offer. You don't have to take back what you don't want, of course. And if it was a violent or a relationship that wasn't going to work, you could have met this person overseas and, you know, finally they've decided to come and move to Australia or the US or whatever. It could be that someone has become widowed and left another relationship behind. Whatever this is someone moving back towards you here to offer you marriage. They've closed out some sort of cycle here. Some of them have moved away from other situations that weren't serving them. They've found this balance in their life, and they're here to offer you something very, very stable. So there you go. Beautiful reading. Have a wonderful weekend.